Something big is brewing in Las Vegas, and it's coming straight from inside the Raiders camp. As OTAs wrap up this week and the countdown begins for mandatory minicamp, one voice is turning heads: defensive coordinator Patrick Graham. Now, here's the deal. Graham isn't just giving the usual coaching talk. He's opening the curtain on a major shift in defensive philosophy. And if you've followed the Raiders over the past few years, this is something you have to hear. Before we dive into the latest news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and smash the bell icon so you never miss out on the next big Raiders update. Now, let's get into it. Patrick Graham, known for his honesty and sharp defensive mind, made it clear: the Raiders' defense in 2025 will not look like anything we've seen before. No more overcomplicated schemes. No more constant rotation of coverages. Graham is taking a bold new path, simplifying the defense to let the players do what they do best: play fast and aggressive football. In previous seasons, Graham pulled from the playbooks of legends like Bill Belichick, Brian Flores, and Steve Spagnuolo. His system was known for mixing coverages, disguising looks, and throwing off quarterbacks. But this year, it's all about clarity and execution. Graham emphasized that the new approach is about putting guys in position to succeed, less thinking, more reacting. And with the talent the Raiders are stacking on defense, that could mean big trouble for opposing offenses. Stay locked in, Raider Nation. This is just the beginning of a new era on defense in Las Vegas. Patrick Graham's vision: simplicity, power, and a new defensive identity. When Patrick Graham speaks, it's not just coach speak, it's a blueprint. And this time, he's laying the foundation for a tougher, more focused Las Vegas Raiders defense. In a recent interview, Graham revealed something simple, yet powerful. Inspired by coaching legends like Pete Carroll, he said, "You don't need 20 buzzwords or complicated paragraphs. Just give the message straight to the players. Play with effort. Play physical." That statement, it's the heart of a major transformation happening in Vegas. The Raiders are building a defense that hits hard, moves fast, and doesn't overthink. It's not about tricking opponents with endless variations anymore. It's about discipline, power, and clarity. The scheme is shifting toward a cover 3 base, and you can see it in every roster move, from free agent signings to draft picks. This isn't guesswork, it's strategy. Take a look at the personnel. The Raiders are loading up on size, speed, and versatility. You're seeing safeties who can drop into the box, linebackers who can cover, corners with range. Everything screams cover 3, and Graham's leadership is the engine behind it. And make no mistake, this isn't a rerun of the Gus Bradley days. Back then, talented players like Trayvon Moehrig were pigeonholed into roles that limited their growth. Under Graham, the focus is different. Maximize each player's strength, keep the message clear, and let them play free. Gone are the days of overly complex systems like the ones Paul Guenther ran. Players used to be buried in playbooks with dozens of third down and red zone calls, confused before the snap even happened. Not anymore. Patrick Graham is cutting through the noise. This defense is about clarity, simplicity, violence, and results. The Raiders aren't just preparing, they're redefining who they are. No more confusion. The Raiders are getting ruthless on defense. It's official, the Las Vegas Raiders are done with defensive confusion. Patrick Graham is cleaning house, and what's coming next is sharper, simpler, and far more dangerous. In past seasons, we've seen what a cluttered playbook can do. Former defensive coordinator Paul Guenther overloaded players with endless calls, red zone packages, third down adjustments, overcomplicated language, and the result? Chaos, missed assignments, soft coverage, a defense stuck in neutral. Patrick Graham, he's cutting through the noise. This season, it's all about clarity and aggression. Graham made it crystal clear: no more 20 buzzword packages, no more mental overload. It's a call it and go philosophy. It's cover 3. The linebacker drops 12 or 15 yards. That's it. Now go hit somebody. That's the vibe, and it's not just talk. The Raiders are leaning hard into a cover 3 heavy identity, a system built to eliminate big plays, force offenses to earn every yard, and dominate the perimeter. And even though cover 3 will be the foundation, Graham isn't going vanilla. Think disguises, pre-snap confusion, show cover 2, roll into cover 3, flash a 2-high look, rotate into a single high post. It's chess, not checkers, and Graham's the one flipping the board. He put it best: We want to make the offense earn it. No freebies, no open seams, no runs bouncing outside. We're shutting that down. That's a complete philosophical shift. Under this new scheme, routes that typically carve up soft zones, seam shots, deep overs, post routes will get erased. And when teams try to attack the edges, the Raiders are building a wall. This isn't just a new playbook, it's a new identity. And it looks like Las Vegas is finally building the kind of defense that can punch back. Patrick Graham's blueprint. Raiders are building a wall. The message is simple. No running around the edges, no freebies over the middle, no confusion. In a true cover 3 defense, you load the box with 8 bodies and force the offense to beat you with precision, not speed to the outside or open lanes up the seam. And that's exactly the identity Patrick Graham is shaping for the Raiders. When offenses try to spread you out, 2 receivers stacked on one side, one running a vertical and the other heading inside, that's when most defenses get exposed. In traditional cover 3, the slot defender, playing the hook curl zone, often gets drawn outside, leaving a clear seam right up the gut. That's the vulnerability. But Graham's not having it. He's drilling it into this defense. No seam routes, no soft spots, not anymore. This is textbook Pete Carroll philosophy. Tough, sound, and situationally aware. And the best part? The Raiders aren't just talking about it, they're practicing it. Graham emphasized one thing repeatedly during OTAs: situational football. Anyone can line up in cover 3 and play their zone. That's day 1 stuff. But what happens when a receiver runs a deep over route? Does the linebacker carry it? Does he pass it off? How long should he trail the route? These are the details that separate an average defense from a dominant one. And Graham is obsessed with getting those details right. It's clear he's molding this defense not just with schemes, but with instincts, awareness, and purpose. He's taking a system built by Pete Carroll and reshaping it into something uniquely Raiders. But one big question looms. How long will Patrick Graham be at the helm? Pete Carroll is locked in for 3 years. But is Graham part of that long-term vision? Will this be his defense to run in 2026 and beyond? Right now, all signs say yes. But in the NFL, nothing stays still for long. Dante Thornton. The breakout nobody saw coming. There's always one name that surprises everyone in OTAs. This year, that name might be Dante Thornton. While all eyes have been on Ashton Jeanty, it's Thornton who's turning heads in a big way. First, Jackson Powers Johnson called him an absolute baller. Then, Jakobi Meyers chimed in, saying Thornton isn't just fast, he's a real wide receiver with polished skills. Even reporters at the open media session said it plainly. Thornton looked like the best receiver on the field. Long, smooth, with elite hands, he was making toe-tap catches on the sideline that felt like something out of a highlight reel. One insider told me he just moves differently. Yes, it's only OTAs, no pads, no full contact. But standout performances like this still matter. They show who's putting in the work, who's mentally sharp, and who's ready to break out when the real action starts. What's even more surprising? Thornton's route running. Coming out of Tennessee's wide-open, gimmicky offense, many labeled him as raw. The Vols system doesn't translate to the NFL. Tons of space, odd hash marks, and routes designed more for confusion than precision. But Thornton's showing crisp, disciplined patterns. Something few expected this early. Some reports even say he looks better than Jack Beck, another rookie with high expectations. Beck might be seen as the more polished option, possibly even a day 1 contributor. But Thornton, he might just outperform everyone. Here's the thing, Thornton isn't duplicating anyone's role. He's not another Jakobi Meyers. He's not just playing the Trey Tucker speed threat game. He's creating something new, something the Raiders haven't had. And if this continues, don't be shocked if Dante Thornton ends up being the most dangerous rookie weapon on the Raiders roster this season. Jakorian Bennett, a quiet red flag in the secondary. While there's plenty of buzz around the offense, the defense has a few question marks, especially in the secondary. One of the biggest, Jakorian Bennett. He was supposed to be one of the key young corners in this defense. But right now, he's running strictly with the second-team unit. Not a single first-team rep, not even in nickel packages. That's not what you expect from a guy many thought would be a starter in year 2. The easy explanation is injury, but here's the thing. Bennett is practicing in full. He's suited up, on the field, and going through all the drills. So if he's healthy, why isn't he getting starter reps? Defensive coordinator Patrick Graham offered some insight. While praising Bennett's speed and effort, Graham also pointed out that Bennett is still building his body back up and lacks the experience needed to read NFL offenses. That sounds like coach speak, but beneath it, there's a concern. Bennett might not be developing as fast as expected. Let's not forget, Bennett's rookie year was bumpy. Injuries slowed him down, and his on-field reps were limited. Now, heading into year 2, he's not standing out the way other young corners around the league are, and for a Raiders secondary that's already thin, that's something to watch closely. The upside? The talent is still there. The speed hasn't gone anywhere. But until Bennett starts taking first-team snaps, his status remains a question mark. Will he bounce back? Or is this a sign the Raiders might be moving in a different direction at corner? Can the Raiders rely on Jakorian Bennett long-term? When Patrick Graham mentioned Jakorian Bennett's injury history, he chose his words carefully, but the message was clear. Durability is a concern. Bennett flashed real potential last season. He started for most of the year, showing off his speed and instincts. But then came Week 11. An injury shut him down for the rest of the season. And now, questions are swirling. Can he stay healthy for a full 17-game stretch? That's what separates good players from reliable starters in the NFL. Talent gets you noticed, but availability keeps you on the field. Even if you're the most gifted corner on the roster, if you're missing games every season, teams start looking elsewhere. Coaches will take the 10th best corner who plays every week over the best one who's only available half the time. It's not just about right now. It's about December. It's about the playoffs. Can Bennett be trusted in those high-pressure moments? There's no doubt about his raw ability. And Patrick Graham made it clear. Experience and reps will help. The more games Bennett plays, the more he'll understand route combinations, offensive tendencies, and situational football. That's what turns a young corner into a veteran that offenses fear. But the big question remains, will he be on the field long enough to reach that level? The Raiders are watching closely. Because in a division stacked with elite quarterbacks, they can't afford to gamble on inconsistency in the secondary.